Safelite is the nation's leading installer of replacement Autoglass. More insurance companies trust Safelite to take good care of their customers than any other Autoglass company. But a lot of people still don't know Safelite, and consequently, they don't use Safelite as their Autoglass supplier. So we depend on you as a Safelite salesperson to make old and new customer contacts and to communicate the feature benefit package as you ask for the sale. But getting a new account started on the right foot can be a real challenge in the world of selling because it's that first customer contact that often determines for both the account and the salesperson whether a productive business relationship is a possibility. And for any sales representative who is not comfortable with the proverbial cold call, be it a call on a new account or a call on an account that has turned cool, it can be a time of seller high anxiety. To help alleviate seller anxiety, we will be discussing some of the practical techniques for developing mutually beneficial sales relationships which apply to two seller-familiar situations: a new account call and a call on an existing account where the relationship has turned cool. We will also review 4 basic communication steps and 9 buyer questions as they apply to your sales efforts. They say experience is the best teacher, so we've chosen to cover how to warm up the cool customer by drawing on the experiences of a typical Safelite sales representative. But you will also want to draw on your own experiences in your discussions with each other. This program is designed to give you that flexibility. At key points in the tape, there will be pauses for discussion. Take advantage of these breaks to talk about the practical application of the concepts presented on the tape to your sales calls. Then return to the program and view the remainder of the tape. Now let's take a look at the first step in the sales process, that first call on a new customer, otherwise known as the cold call.
I remember my first cold call. My manager told us he wanted us to go out and break some new ground, to get some new business. I'd only been working for Safelite for a couple of months at the time, and I knew the basics of Autoglass installation, and I'd met many of the older accounts by then. But this idea of cold calling, of developing a relationship from scratch, it really took me a little off guard. But I figured I'm a salesperson, so how hard can it be?
Thank you very much.
Hi.
What do you want?
My name is Steve Williams from Safelite Autoglass. I thought you might like, you want some of those?
Really nice stuff, Dave.
Oh, no, Steve Williams.
Oh, yeah, I can really use these.
Yeah. Well, what I really want is, do you think it might be possible for me to see him, to talk to him?
Me? You want to see me? Why should I want to see you? Why in the world would I even listen to you?
Of course, it may not really have happened like that, but that's how Steve remembered it, because it felt like that to him. Perhaps you've even had calls that felt that way, but the questions Mr. ICE agent has raised are valid.
Why should I see you? Why should I listen to you?
Why should a customer who has never seen you before want to take time out of his or her busy day to see or talk to you? After all, he doesn't know you and may not know Safelite. And he may even feel that he doesn't want or need to know you or your company. It is possible that your customer will never ask those questions, but he or she may think them. And if you can't answer those first buyer questions even when they aren't asked, or if you fail to make a good impression, you won't get to first base. At this point, pause the videotape and take a few minutes to review the key points we've just mentioned. Discuss how to enter an office, how to approach the claims personnel or agent and introduce yourself. Also, discuss when and how to professionally present premiums like scratch pads and pens. Remember Steve? You will also want to develop response statements that will answer the first 2 buyer questions. Why should I see you? And why should I listen? Then when you start the tape again, we'll look at where we are in the sales communication process. Welcome back. Safelite has identified 4 communication steps in the sales process, which begin with that very first call. The first step is awareness. Now, of course, you know the company you work for. We're Safelite. We're the nation's leading installer of replacement auto glass, and we've been around for a long time. But at first, your new customers may not know much about us or you. And before they'll do business with Safelite, they need to be aware of who Safelite is, who you are, and why you're calling on them. So this question of why your customer should see you, and the related question as to why they should listen, are important keys to moving our customers through the awareness stage. By answering those 2 questions at the beginning of the sales process, you'll put purpose into the sales call and direction into the new relationship. Now, Safelite has developed a number of resources to help your customers move through the awareness stage. For example, insurance and fleet trade publication advertising, yellow page advertising, high visibility locations with exterior store signs, business cards, scratch pads, and a host of other material to enhance name awareness. So Steve wasn't really off base to offer his business card, maybe a few scratch pads or a pen. Of course, his style could have been improved, but his biggest problem was that he had no real idea of what he was trying to accomplish. In that initial call, the goal is to leave a good first impression by introducing yourself, the company, specifically Safelite Autoglass, and offer a brief statement about what you can do for them. For example, you may have come up with an introduction like this. Good morning, I'm Steve Williams. I represent Safelite Autoglass, and we would like to help you take care of your Autoglass claims. You may then want to ask who they are currently using for their Autoglass service and if they're familiar with Safelite. But don't spend too much time. Find out their names, who their current supplier is, or who makes the referral decisions. Let them know you'll be stopping by periodically, and then thank them for their time and leave. Remember, the goal is to make a good first impression. But in Steve's unfortunate case, he still had a pretty cold call to make on his second visit.
After that first call, I wasn't sure I really wanted to go back. But with some coaching and encouragement from my manager, soon I was off to see Mr. Ice Agent and the cool Ms. North Breeze.
Good morning. Oh, it's you again. What do you want?
Good morning, Ms. North Breeze. I wonder if you could tell me who handles your Autoglass claims?
Well, actually, a lot of the time I handle the calls.
So you're back. Just what do you want? Are you a problem for me? Taking up my time? Or are you a solution? I could use some solutions. Well, what's it going to be?
Well, solutions, sir. Solutions. For example, we have a warranty. Yeah, that's it, a warranty. And it takes care of, whatever ails you, I guess.
Sometimes I wonder how I ever survived the blizzard.
Not exactly warm yet, were they? But Steve had the right idea in trying to identify the right person to talk to. But the ICE agent's questions were also right on target. In fact, they represent buyer questions 3, 4, and 7. What's my problem? How does Safelite solve it? And how is Safelite unique? Answering those 3 questions for the customer will really help him begin to understand just what Safelite can do for him. When you think about it, there really are problems for which Safelite has the solutions. For example, Safe Seal windshield repair can help with claims cost control. Our quickie questionnaires can help with customer complaint problems. And our nationwide warranty provides peace of mind protection for as long as the customer owns the vehicle. The fact is, most agencies don't have time to follow up on Autoglass-related problems, and as a Safelite sales representative, you can offer them peace of mind by taking the burden of problem solving off their shoulders. And this brings us into the next communication step in building a good client relationship, understanding. A successful businessman once said, "People don't buy your product because they necessarily understand your product. People buy your product or service because they believe that you know and understand them." So to understand your customers' problems, you will need to ask good, specific questions. And then you need to help your customers understand how working with Safelite will solve their problems and why the Safelite solution is unique or why it is the best in the industry. At this time, Turn off the tape and discuss some practical examples of how Safelite solves problems for your customers. First, by identifying some problems, then by identifying Safelite solutions. And of course, you should also discuss how the Safelite solutions are unique. Welcome back. It is important to keep in mind as we move through the communication steps and the buyer questions that they can overlap. For example, you will continue to work on raising the level of awareness of Safelite even after that initial call. The need for name and service awareness will always crop up. It's also important to note that the understanding phase of the sales process can last an indefinite period of time as you handle your customers' objections and questions. To help your customers, Safelite has available informative brochures, video presentations, and product demonstration displays. All of these materials have been prepared for your use to help you explain our products and services. Of course, when it comes to using these materials, there are some preferred ways to do it. Important techniques such as highlighting key points and keeping control of the material can ensure that you keep attention focused on the point you want to make. At this point, stop the tape and practice the proper way to present and use the marketing literature during a sales call.
Well, it was a long time in coming, but finally, it began to look as if the Ice Age agency was warming to what we had to offer. Like most insurance agents, their business had become largely dependent on the quality of local mom-and-pop shops. But after I talked with them for a while, Safelite started to look like a reasonable solution to their customers' replacement autoglass. Still, I had a few other hurdles to get over first before they'd start sending business our way.
Okay, Steve, let's just put our chips on the table. I've been building this company for a long time, and I'm not about to blow it now. Our business depends not only on how well we take care of our customers, but also how well those who represent us take care of our customers. We've been using a couple of guys for a long time.
That's true. We've depended on Flat Glass and Go-Mobile to get the job done for years.
So let's just be upfront about this. Steve, why should I trust you? And furthermore, why should I trust Safelite?
Trust. The third critical communication step is trust. There are simply too many people and companies who are in it for the short term. For that reason, your customers need to know why they should trust you as a salesperson as well as Safelite Autoglass. Why don't you take a few minutes to discuss the importance of trust in the communication process and what tools and avenues you have available for cultivating your customers' trust in you and in Safelite. Stop the tape now and turn it back on again when you have completed your discussion. Welcome back. So why should the ICE agent and Ms. Northbreeze trust Steve? And why should they trust Safelite Autoglass? These are questions involving trust and are buyer questions 5 and 6. One of the most important benefits you can sell about doing business with Safelite is the company's trustworthiness. We've been in business for over 40 years, and we couldn't have become the largest auto glass installer in the country without taking care of the customer. The backbone of that confidence is our commitment to product quality and service. We stand behind our installations with a national written warranty that will take care of insureds all over the country. And we constantly sample the product and service opinions of our customers. This stack of quickie questionnaires, for example, is a great tool for communicating to your customer that we're taking care of the people they entrust to us. And your handling of any problems quickly and satisfactorily will go a long way in helping to build that trust. But then there are other more personal things you can do to establish trust, things that allow you to get to know your customer on a personal level and allow him or her to get to know and appreciate you. For example, an occasional business lunch provides a relaxed atmosphere for developing the trust relationship. You might participate in a golf or tennis tournament together, Or just remember to send a card on birthdays or during the Christmas season. And don't forget the sales call itself. If you've told them you'll be back, and you are each month as well as each time they need you, you're building your credibility. Personal and company trust is built over time.
By the time we had been at this about 6 months, I could see that Mr. Ice Agent had really started to melt. And Miss North Breeze, well, she had become pretty pleasant too.
Oh, hi, Steve. I'll let Tom know you're here.
I appreciate that, Nancy.
Tom, Steve is here for your lunch appointment.
Thanks. Sorry you're not going to be able to get away today and join us.
Me too, but I'll see you next month during the fashion show Safelite's hosting.
Hi, Steve. Good to see you. Where are we going for lunch?
How's pasta sound?
Sounds great. Let's go.
See you next month, Nancy.
Now, as you can see, Steve began to build a good personal relationship with both Tom and Nancy, and that's critical. But of course, the bottom line is sales, and in developing a friendly business relationship based on mutual understanding and trust, you can never lose sight of the need to ask for the business. And that brings us to the fourth critical stage in the sales process, action. In this important step, we need to satisfactorily answer these customer questions. Number 8, why send Safelite business? And number 9, why send Safelite jobs now? Take some time now to discuss how often and when you should ask for the sale. And then brainstorm a list of statements or questions that ask for the sale. See how many you can come up with. Well, how did you do? You know you can ask for the sale any number of times in any number of ways. With your first call on an agency, your closing statement might be to ask them to keep you in mind with their next Autoglass claim. Later on, as the relationship has progressed, you might ask them to give Safelite a try. And finally, if you have been effective in the earlier phases of the sales process and have developed understanding and trust with your customer, your direct request for them to send you the business will produce results. However, when you ask for the sale and the customer is not ready to send Safelite business, you may encounter the objection. Don't mistake objections for complaints. Objections are stumbling blocks in the customer's buying path. By objecting, the customer is asking you to help him or her understand the benefits of our product or service. Or they may be asking for more of a basis to establish trust with either yourself or Safelite. By raising an objection, the customer is really saying, "Tell me more." When this happens, you will find yourself thrown back into the middle of the sales process. An effective method for handling objections is to show the customer exactly how it helps the company to refer business to Safelite. For example, explain how Safelite can reduce their claims costs by reviewing our Safe Seal benefits. You could also help the customer quantify the money he will save in writing checks by using our Flex Bill volume billing. Or you can reinforce how we take care of his customers by sharing our quickie questionnaires with the agent or claims representative. The thing to remember about objections is that by offering bottom line information, by answering the ultimate question, what does that mean to me? You are that much closer to closing the sale. Now, other factors that may influence referrals are golf tournaments and fashion show promotions, which are a way of saying thank you for work that has been given or that you are expecting. Also, there is the use of premium items like coffee cups or pens. Although they won't be the deciding factor, they may get your customer to think in terms of immediate action as long as you are asking for the sale. But there is another situation that can occur when you ask for the sale, that of the hidden objection. You may be familiar with it as the "sure, we'll send you some business" response, yet it's business you never see. It's irritating when this happens, but some customers are afraid, for any number of reasons, to raise objections or to tell you the real reason they aren't ready to send Safelite business. When this happens, it's time to start asking questions that allow the customer to comfortably tell you what is keeping them from referring business to Safelite. But what should you do if you are never told what the underlying reason is and you still do not receive business referrals? Inform your manager of the situation. maybe the two of you can work out a new action plan to uncover the hidden objection and start receiving referrals. Until then, remember this: no matter what, when it comes to asking for the business or handling objections, courteous, consistent persistence pays. Throughout this videotape, we have introduced the 9 buyer questions that your customers may ask or may be thinking during your sales call. They are: number 1, why should I see you? Number 2, why should I listen? Number 3, what's my problem? Number 4, how does Safelite solve it? Number 5, why should I trust you, the salesperson? Number 6, why should I trust Safelite, the company? Number 7, why is Safelite's solution unique? Number 8, why should I send Safelite business? And number 9, why should I send Safelite business now? We also introduced you to the 4 communication steps: awareness, understanding, trust, action. The 9 buyer questions interact with the 4 communication steps in this way. During the awareness stage, questions 1 and 2 need to be addressed. As your sales call progresses and you move into the understanding stage of communication, questions 3, 4, and 7 should be answered. From the first customer contact, trust is always a major factor. With your first hello, you should be building a relationship for both you and the company based on trust. Although trust is specifically addressed by questions 5 and 6, trust is a major factor throughout the whole selling process. Buyer questions 8 and 9 are always important, and for action to occur, providing answers to questions 8 and 9 as you ask for the sale will produce results in the form of business or an objection. Now, although you may not hear these questions from each of your customers, the 4 communication steps and their interaction with the 9 buyer questions is a recognizable pattern you can expect with each sales contact. And knowing where you are in the sales process will produce a much higher success rate in getting the sale. But don't get too caught up in the process. Remember, sales is a fluid process with many overlapping stages. When you think about it, the information presented in this videotape and discussed in your groups just makes sense. Unless you control the process, it could control you. But as you understand the total sales process, your calls will have more purpose and your relationships more direction. Safelite has become a leader in the Autoglass industry on the strength of our customers' trust. It's a trust that has been earned by putting service first. And it's a trust you renew and strengthen every time you make a sales call. Because with Safelite, you're on the first team in Autoglass repair and replacement, and the first team in commitment to customer service.